Two Worlds, One Family by Dragon Chapter 36. A Peace Shattered. Hiccup grunted. Astrid grumbled but did not move. Hiccup smiled, watching as Shadowfire landed. It seemed Gyda's time staying with Offersons had resulted in Astrid willing to be more relaxed around the mage. Had it been any of their other friends who spoke and landed in the cove, Astrid would have moved from Hiccup's embrace. Hiccup knew it had nothing to do with her being embarrassed or ashamed. She had proved that every day by holding his hand and kissing him in front of the whole village. She just would rather some things be kept from the other teens. Gyda dismounted and walked closer to the rock. Shadowfire joined the other dragons, laying down in a half-circle behind them. The dragons greeted him in the old tongue. Shadowfire returned the greetings. Hiccup watched them interact. He enjoyed that they would still speak in the old tongue. There was something peaceful about hearing the warbles, chirps, chitters, coos, squawks, and croons the dragons gave. To Hiccup, every sound meant the choices he made and the life he endured had been worth it. The conflict between humans and dragons was done, and now both could work together for a life denied by that monster's reign. He shifted his gaze to Gyda as the mage lowered her hood. He was reluctant to break the peace in the cove, but her unsettled look from earlier still showed in his mind. He had to know. "Gyda, do you know who that girl is?" he asked. Gyda sighed, then tipped her head once. Hiccup grunted. "Is this something we have to live through and learn from?" Gyda tilted her head and then tipped it again. "Is it different from the tale you know?" No hesitation on the nod this time. "Can we know the differences?" Gyda stared at the fireworm cave for many silent heartbeats. Hiccup refrained from speaking, knowing he had to let the mage work through the knowledge she held. He understood her reluctance to blurt out everything. It seemed much was different than the tale she had been told. Hiccup knew, beyond any doubt, Gyda worried it was her interference that caused most, if not all, of the changes. She was awake in the tale I know. "Did she say what happened?" "Pirates attacked her ship, and she was the only one to get away." Astrid grunted. "Pirates would have targeted her. Slavery is still practiced in places." Hiccup's eyes narrowed and her upper lip curled into a snarl. The mage's face cleared. She pinched the bridge of her nose. "Pirates didn't attack her, did they?" Astrid asked. A pained look crossed Gyda's face. "I don't know what I can say," she whispered, lowering her hand. "This event is a stepping stone. It extends to events in the future. Parts are already changed. I fear what that means for events to come." Hiccup frowned. "How far into our future do you know?" 5 years. After that, if anything happened to any of you..." Gyda's voice trailed off and she shrugged. Hiccup blinked. Astrid whistled. The dragons, except Shadowfire, chirped and warbled in what sounded like astonishment. Hiccup saw them look at Shadowfire. The bigger dragon sighed. "Frostpale and myself know the same length of time Mum does." "That is a long time," Hiccup whispered. "No wonder you had headaches at the end of the day," Astrid said, sitting up and staring at Gyda. Hiccup mentally slapped himself. He missed having her in his arms, but the conversation was far more important than his desire to hold her as long as he could. He saw Gyda's eyebrow raise just before the mage snorted. "Stop that," she said, staring at him. "Stop what?" he asked. "Stop feeling bad for wanting to hold Astrid or being upset that she sat up." "How did you know that?" Hiccup asked, eyes wide, but still catching the astonished and pleased look Astrid sent him. Gyda laughed. "I'm a mother, Hiccup." Hiccup frowned. "Mrs. Hofferson said the same thing about something different." Gyda winked. "Mothers have a power that is far more mystical and magical than any magic I could ever wield." "She's right. Mum could always tell when Frost or I were hiding something. Well, except aggravating purple scale. I did ask her once, Shadow, Gyda said, staring at her son. She told me no, and that you two were just lovely and wonderful little fledglings.
Oh.
Hiccup snorted. My mother always knew when I snuck away from the sleeping den. Mine could tell when I was upset over something, Sharpshot said softly. Hiccup sighed, both happy and sad at the same time. Happy that his friends and family could speak about things from their pasts. Sad that he did not have a mother, who would see things he tried to hide or know when he did something he was not supposed to, or was upset over something in his life. He heard a soft squawk and looked up at Stormfly. I did not know my mother, she said, keeping one eye trained upon Hiccup. At least, not for long. She was the previous spike thrower elder. I and my crushed siblings were her last clutch. That monster ate her, and the new elder and several other spike throwers took over raising us. Astrid slid off the rock and walked over to her dragon. Stormfly lowered her head, nuzzling into Astrid's outstretched arms. Hiccup hopped off the rock and joined them, but only placed a hand upon Stormfly's nose, and the other upon Astrid's shoulder. Stormfly snorted, her breath ruffling Hiccup's fur vest. You can hug me too, Alpha. I doubt Astrid will mind, and I certainly don't. Hiccup chuckled but hugged both of them. Stormfly chittered. Squawks broke the stillness that settled. Hiccup and Astrid stepped away from Stormfly as several terrors, more than Sharpshot's previous flock had contained, landed in the cove. Hiccup blinked when Sharpshot hissed and landed in front of a red-coloured one, wings rattling and a snarl building in his throat. Whoa! Hiccup cried, hurrying over and kneeling beside his brother. Sharpshot! What's wrong? It's her! The small dragon hissed. Her flock attacked mine! Her brother killed my parents! End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. Mostly a nice chapter, but quite sad and with a bit of a cliffhanger. Poor Sharpshot. Anyway, yeah, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified for whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.